ever to come up on my phone. So if there was a long delay there, waiting. Oh, it's breaking in and out. That might be my internet. Oh, it's breaking in and out. Hopefully, hang on. Something not going right. My phone is low on battery, possibly. Let me switch to the iPad and see what's happening. Because I'm getting no sound whatsoever. Hopefully, hang on. It's very intermittent. Cutting in and out. That's no good, you see. Something not going right. My phone is low on battery, possibly. Right. Let me switch to the iPad and see what's happening. Well, you can hear me twice. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Is it still cutting out? You can hear me twice. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. All right, screw it. We'll do it. What the hell? What the hell? We'll do it. If it patters in and out, you can guess. I never say that much important anyway, so you won't miss out. Right, so now I have to change over to get Discord up on my phone. I had the table and everything ready. All of the bump I needed to get this show on the road, and now I've got to go hunting for it. Give me a second, because there's all sorts happening here. So it's the Super Sunday Sprint Madness, round 8, up and running, and we haven't got past the intro yet because I found the race info. So come on, you slow. I want to turn my internet back on. My phone. I think it's my battery on my phone's going, so we're going down. Read then. So, the Sunday Sprint Madness, round 8. Here we are. We are at Tokyo Expressway South Outer Loop for 3 15-minute races. The lap length is 5.2 miles long with 17 turns, and it's the final round, baby. So let's have a look at the table. Now, in this race, they have 3 sprint races. They get the choice of super soft, medium, no, might be just soft, medium, and a hard tyre. There might be no super soft, actually. Soft, medium, and hard tyre. They get to choose one per race. So they have to use a different set on each race. These guys have been racing the previous 7 weeks to come to this point. Now, Skyjacker is at the top of the table on 279 points, but it's not mathematically impossible for Koikart to catch him in this final round. He's in second on 265 points. Ensign Yu at third on 249 points, with the Barry twins fourth on 173 points. In fifth place, we have Jim on 157 points, Bandit in sixth on 152 points, Noxie in seventh on 127 points, Dan Wolf 8th on 98 points, and Pat 9th on 79 points. So, yeah, I mean, 16 points Ensign Yu is off of Koi Carp. That's going to be a tough call. It's a win, but Koi Carp would have to score very badly. And again, with Koi, he's some 14 points off of Skyjacker. I mean, like I said, it's not impossible, and he started well with getting a point for pole position. And could we be looking at a brand new champion in the VRC sitting on pole in his little Toyota? Skyjacker's in the chat saying, good evening, sir. Skyjacker said, someone sounds tired. Oh, do I? Sorry. I was distracted because I had the YouTube on my phone and it kept going this, and I was thinking, is that how it's going out broadcasting to the interweb, or is that how it's on my phone? Hi Thingy, hi everyone, says Ensign Ewart. So let's have a look at the grid. They qualified for 10 minutes, I believe. On the tyres they've chose to take into the first race, and as we see there, Koi Cup got the pole position on a set of racing softs. Skyjacker, whoa, extreme close-up. Skyjacker, he's in second on the racing hards. Now that is good stuff. Third is Noxie on the racing hards as well. Pat fourth on the racing mediums in his Star Wars tribute Toyota. Ensign Ewart in his F1 tribute, the Toyota F1 car, is in fifth, and he's on the racing hard tyres. Barry Twins is sixth. He's also on the racing hard tyres, and Dan Wolf also on the racing hards. So what do we have? We had Pat on the mediums and Coy on the softs. And it is going to be an absolutely gigantic battle around the streets of Tokyo. So fasten your seatbelts. Let's get this show underway. Is the sound okay? Sounds like it. Yeah, it really sounded. It must have been my phone, where it was just coming in and out, and I didn't think you could hear me. So here we go then. I am tired as well, Sky. I mean, Jesus, work. I'm doing a lot of work. Work gets in the way of everything. I've been having a nice break. No streams so far. It's been amazing. Let's get this one underway. From Sunday night, 3-4 days delayed. So Koi Carp waiting for those lights to go out here at Tokyo South Outer Loop. They're making their sweet time about it. And it's a go here for race 1 of 3 in the final round of the SSM, the SFR Cup. Koi Carp then off to a great lead, but Skyjacker staying with him on those racing hard tyres. Skyjacker having a sneaky look up the inside, but never ever has he got the grip to stay with him. Noxie in third, ahead of Pat, but Pat trying to get the most out of those medium tyres, whilst these guys are on the hard, cold tyres. Barry in fifth, ahead of Ensign Ewart, but them two are shaping up for a little battle, and Dan Wolf there in a 7th spot. But Koi Carp streaking away from Skyjacker, and that's all he can do at the moment in his chase for this championship, for them precious 14 points, with that 1 point for pole, putting it down to 13 points, and he could be getting the championship. It's in his grasp. And Skyjacker in the chat saying work ruins life. Ensign saying proper Tokyo overload last week, wasn't it? Skyjacker saying not enough grip or skills for that move he tried to make. But he's there holding on to a 2nd spot with Noxie bringing the noise, and Pat on those medium tyres, always a danger back there. Ensign Ewart going for a move on the Bazza, but the Bazza knows what he's like, and he's got his go. Dan Wolf staying with the pack. He's reaching out to us all the way across the pond from America. Hasn't been able to make all of the races so far this season, so just not quite attuned to the Toyota as the other drivers possibly are, especially this track as well. On the hard tyres is just a recipe for disaster. Skyjacker maintaining a good distance from Koi, hoping possibly Koi Carp will wear the tyres out, but we've had a lot of races at Tokyo recently. A lot of races. And one thing it has turned out is it's good to tyres. I don't think it's harmful to the tyre. So Koi Carp on those racing softs should be able to keep them alive all the way to the checkered flag. But Skyjacker will chase him down, hoping that those soft tyres give way. Meanwhile, Pat's up to third. No, he's not. Noxie's up the inside. It looked like Pat was on third, but Noxie is sneaking one by, and Pat now has to play defence against the Baz and Ensign. Ensign is ahead of the Baz, but I think they're pretty much side by side. No, Ensign is ahead, and Pat, and then Noxie is up into third. We saw that. He's a little ways off of Skyjacker, but they are bunched up the rest of the field with Ensign Ewart having a look at Pat, and Pat eager to get himself by Noxie, who's on the hard tyre. Pat's come out of the tow. He's having a look up the inside, and Pat's going for the move. It's all down to braking. Pat on the inside. He's on the stickier tyre, and he holds ground well. And that's Pat up into third place ahead of Noxie. Noxie having a look into the chicane, but it's just not on for him. Dan Wolf there in the battle on those racing hard tyres. I said he's not up together with the car, but he's staying with these guys. And Noxie doing well. Oh, he's lost a position, sorry. Noxie's not doing so well. He was up to third, and he's dropped down behind Ensign Ewart. No, we saw Pat get that third. I'm sure we did. And Ensign Ewart slipped one by. Look at these cars' corners. Sideways on virtually. And Pat now under threat from Ensign Ewart. He's got it down the straights, but it seems in the corner, Ensign Ewart and Noxie carrying a little extra pace there with those hard tyres. And Pat is under siege, I tell you. He's feeling the pressure bearing down on him from above. And Ensign Ewart going for a wider line into the hairpin, going for the inside line. Pat goes straight on. Pat goes very late on the brakes. And Noxie's the man. Noxie is the man who gets through the corner the neatest. But Ensign Ewart gets a good drive out of the corner and comes back at Noxie. And poor old Pat took a very wide line into that corner late on his brakes. And Dan Wolf is looking to take a scalp. Whilst Koikap absolutely lording it in the lead on his racing soft tyres. Nobody can touch him. Skyjacker a distant second with the rest of the gang all fighting it out. Now Ensign Ewart in third, Noxie fourth, Bazza's in fifth. Pat's there looking in trouble from Dan Wolf. And a quick glance at the chat. Bandit saying good evening, Mr. Kravitz. And Skyjacker saying was more hoping Coy met a barrier, but Barry twins saw them more. Hey, Bazza. Oh, whoa, 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 big one between Ensign and Bazza. And I think that's worth looking back at. So we can point the finger. So Barry and Noxie and Ensign Ewart keeping a close fight going on here. Ensign Ewart in third, Noxie in fourth. Noxie staying out tight in the chicane. They all make it through. No, Ensign did it to himself. Ensign lost it in the chicane, got in Noxie's way, and Bazza made his way up to third. And Bazza totally innocent in that one, my dear lord. And Noxie going through. It's because Skyjacker was casting aspersions. I jumped to the conclusion. So Noxie now up into third, Bazza's in fourth, Dan Wolf in fifth. Pat somehow got caught up in the Ensign Ewart spin up. And in the chat then we've got Skyjacker saying, got to say though, these were mighty round here, much easier than the FT1 VGTs, which they ran on Thursdays. And then Skyjacker saying Noxie trying some Tokyo drift. He was absolutely on it, wasn't he, old Noxie? Oh, look at him again. Dan Wolf this time getting involved with the Baz, and Dan Wolf's got Noxie. Dan Wolf having a good round, up to fourth. And Ensign Ewart saying, I rode too much sausage there. And Skyjacker said, I didn't cast anything. You said about him liking the barriers, and then I saw him spinning, and I thought, oh, this must be what he was talking about. The Bazza, though, up into third. Noxie somehow losing that battle. And Dan Wolf in fifth. Pat playing catch up. He's on the faster tyre, so possibly could gain ground on him. And Ensign Ewart playing huge catch up as Koikap make big one from Skyjacker. A little clip. Didn't want his wing mirror. That wing mirror is no good to him. He's got no one behind him anyway, so he tried to take off the wing mirror. He's probably just trying to get up a bit of weight off so he can try and catch Koikap up. But yeah, lovely little tap in the hairpin. That's what Ensign Ewart was trying. And Bazza then solid third at the moment for the Baz. He's got Noxie having a look, but he's a little further back now, and the Barry into the swing of things. And he's loving it. Car 74 absolutely nailing it everywhere he can. And Dan Wolf. Problem is, Turtle, you don't mean the cool Kravitz, do you? That's you mean Ted Kravitz, not the singer. I can't remember his first name. Bugger. It's not Les Kravitz, is it? Lenny Kravitz, that's it. I don't mind Lenny Kravitz. I'll go with that. Oh, you're going to go my way. Hey. So Koikap. It's like a budget Hendrix. So Koikap is leading the way from Skyjacker with the Baz under siege now. The Baz, everyone's had a go. Pat's Pat was there in third at one point. He's coming back though. Look at 42.8, his fastest. Dan Wolf last time around was a 43.7. Noxie 43.8. The Baz doing a 42.9. But Noxie, relentless in his attack, is now going for it. But Barry's got the inside line. Is that going to be enough? The Baz just trying to cling on to Noxie's tailcoat, and Noxie through and up to the chicane, the deadly chicane we've seen so far. Wow, big hit for Noxie on the suspension, but he makes it his way through, and the Baz is down to fourth, and he's got to get those Belgian balls out, hasn't he? We've got to see those Belgian balls swinging in those corners, in those late braking zones. Ensign Newitt saying, I reckon Skyjacker was using windscreen wipers as an aerodynamic aid. That's why he was so quick on hards. And Bandit saying, yes, good side, Mr. T. Kravitz. No, Lenny Kravitz. I'm going with Lenny. Are you going to go my way? Quick up, Skyjacker in second. And this is going pretty well. Really, Quick up could do with Skyjacker being further back behind other people. He needs to see Spinjacker coming out of the box, because Quick Up needs points. Points. It defo works, Ensign says Skyjacker. As he chases him down, Skyjacker looking for his second championship, with Noxie up into third, and the Baz is Barry, we usually see with his windscreen wipers going. But the Baz in fourth, chasing down Noxie. He's just done his fastest, 42.6. Noxie before that, 41.0. What's Skyjacker doing? 41's on the reg. And Koi Carp is well into the 40s and touching the 39s a little bit. Just a little dab with the finger there on the 39s, but mostly 40s for Koi Carp. Skyjacker then chasing him down, with Noxie playing Dundare all over those curbs and getting away with it. His suspension is going to be absolutely a mockery by the end of this race, with the Baz chasing him down. Seal oil proudly printed all over that vehicle. We know he's driving on some seal corpses, trying to chase down the Noxie. Dan Wolf in a great fifth place, but he has been caught up by Pat, sorry, not Pam. Couldn't get my teeth in. So Pat, and Dan Wolf's had a mistake there, giving Pat the opportunity to make his position, but Pat's not quite got the corner right, and I don't know what's going on between the two of them at the moment. And Dan Wolf, he's made that look like a James Bond car, he really has. And Ensign Newitt also catching him up, and Ensign into the braking zone, and he gets one on Dan Wolf, but Dan Wolf looking like he's better out of the corner, and Dan Wolf claiming that position back from Ensign Newitt. It's race on between the two Dans. Koi Carp meanwhile in the 39s again, a little bit bigger dab. He's put two fingers in it this time, because he's done a 39.6, so he's gone a little deeper into the 39s. Has Signore Koi Carp in the Red Bull Toyota, and it's been a lonely race for him, a time trial as such. Skyjacker still hoping those tyres or Koi Carp meets a barrier, but it's not happening, and Koi Carp got quite a healthy lead there from Skyjacker. The Baz is back ahead of Noxie. That was the other way round, wasn't it, last time we saw him? So Barry wanted the podium back and decided he got the podium back, and he's just done a super lap to provide him with that podium. 41.3 as Noxie. I can't even see the time, the controller's in the way. We're 12 minutes in to the race. Has Baz made a mistake? No, because he was quite close anyway. Thought Baz had a bang with the barrier, but he's doing okay. But Noxie is closing in. I don't think there is an in-car on this. That's as good as you're going to get, and the dashboard's in the way of the bonnet, so it's just a higher onboard view. So Noxie getting that position back, so the Baz thought he saw him knock a barrier, and possibly he did, because Noxie has made his way back up into a podium position, And these two seesawing their way through this race. Skyjacker said, sure, he enjoyed the lonely race, lol. And then Pat in 5th. Ensign has got himself ahead of the Dan. The Battle of the Dans was over pretty early, actually, because Dan did a 47.7 last time around against the 43.7. Chase cam is the way. Makes you feel queasy. With Koi Carp leading the way now. We've got 13.5 minutes done on the clock. So this could possibly be his final lap. Yeah, 140. Possibly. It's going to be tight. But I'm going to say, I want to stick my neck out and say this is Koi Carp's final lap. Skyjacker, for show, is his final lap. Noxie, one more lap to keep ahead of the Baz. And the Baz is pushing hard all the way. I like in-car. My favourite, but it is crap to drive with. You can't see anything, but I like to look at the steering wheel and the dashboard and think, ooh, this is the future. So, Noxie 3rd, and I don't think the Baz is going to get it, is he? He's not coming back at him. He needs a nice long straight, but he's lost a bit of space on him. This could be the opportunity coming out of this hairpin. And Pat was slowly catching him up. A few more laps. Pat and Ensign might have been back on the scene against these two. But meanwhile, Koi Carp just going into the final chicane. One more corner after this, and he claims the win. 5 seconds on the clock. Yeah, it's race over, I think. He's not going to get to the line. There we go. 15 minutes is on the clock, and the final lap flag is out. And there it is. And Koi Carp takes first place with Skyjacker coming up behind him for second place, keeping that championship alive. Noxie still got Barry Twins close behind as he makes his way around the final corner and takes the podium. Or does he? It's a long way to go yet, and the Bazza is coming back strong, and it's a podium for Noxie. Take a boo, my son. 4th for close. 4th for the Baz. Oh God, Pat. A distant, he's 5th, even though you can only just see him. Ensign Hewitt grabbing 6th, and Dan Wolf bringing it home in 7th. But I think that's closer than Dan Wolf's been before in these races, so definite improvement there from the American. In the chat, Skyjacker, I said Chase Cam is the way. Skyjacker, I always use Chase before I got the wheel, and Skyjacker saying Homesick and others amaze me using in-car for racing. I get it's much more immersive, but majority of cars can't see enough. No, you can't see any apexes in half of the cars. It's a pain. Oh, but the VR is beautiful. When it comes, VR version 2, GT7 better have capability. Oh, they better have everyone be able to race with each other as well. That'd be so cool. So let's let Dan cross the line, and we'll move on to race 2. Koi Carp's attempts at stealing this championship away from Skyjacker, and now it's down to what, 12 points difference. Job done in race 1. Like I said, he probably, I'll give it a like. He would have liked Skyjacker to finish further down the order, but all he can do is get ahead of Skyjacker and stay ahead of him. Ensign Hewitt saying, I think it's the Porsche we last used in World Endurance Series, and in-car view while turning is just hands in your face, I can imagine. Yes, I don't know. It's good in the VR, though. It really does feel like a car. It's unbelievable. Everything, you can see everything as well. You can look at the side and you can see the apex, and it's, oh man, I want to get my VR out again. I need to do some laps. biggest buzz was doing the F1 500 car around Brazil in VR. It was so stunning. So here we go then. We'll have a quick look at the grid. It's the reverse. Dan Wolf, Ensign Ewart, Pat, Barry, Noxie, Skyjacker and Coy. We'll give it a quick pause on the line so we can see what tyres whom is on. And it's, oh God, I keep trying to, I've been using GT7 a lot lately. I'm trying to use the handset to navigate around. Oh God, cameras are So, mediums for Dan Wolf. Ensign Ewart is going for the softs. Pat's all for the mediums. Noxie's going for the mediums. Skyjacker is going for medium. And Koi Cup is going for the hards. So we're looking at Dan Wolf, but the threat really is Ensign Ewart there, isn't it? As we see him on the line, and we'll get race 2 underway. 15 minutes of pure adrenaline on the streets of Tokyo Expressway, and it's a... Jesus, what's going on with these stalls? Ensign Ewart gonna do the jump on those soft tyres. Pole vaulting off of the second grid spot and heading up the inside of Dan Wolf, and that's Ensign Ewart into the lead of this race. Dan Wolf holding on to second, but wait a minute, because Pat's sneaking one through as well. Pat also on those soft tyres, but Dan Wolf holds ground ahead of Pat. Now Pat goes out wide, loses ground to the Baz, and the Baz is up into third. Pat's now fourth, but he's riding the barriers, and that gives Skyjacker, Koi Cup the opportunity to come through, and Noxie. Pat slipping down to the back there. Whilst he rode those barriers, Ensign Ewart leads this race on the racing softs, racing mediums for the Baz, who's got ahead. Oh, no, he has not got ahead of, but Skyjacker, somehow, with the god-awful camera views that we get here at Tokyo Expressway, because the walls get in the way, that Skyjacker made a sweet move up the inside of all of them as they were all going out wide. And now Skyjacker back into second place of this race like he was in the first, but Dan Wolf just coming up the inside of him under the bridge, and that is Dan Wolf into second now. Skyjacker though side by side with Dan Wolf as they head up to the fierce uphill right-hander. It's 90 degrees, heavy on the brakes, up the hill, car all sorts of disorientated as it hits that apex, and there you go. Skyjacker holds on to second with Dan Wolf in third as they go into the chicane. Dan Wolf totally missing the chicane there, and Koi Cup almost getting wrapped up into something nasty, but he made it through nicely as Pat then comes through. And there's been a hell of a lot of racing as we've watched Dan Wolf and Skyjacker, because the Baz, who was up there, is now down into sixth, Noxie in seventh. Unbelievable stuff by Ensign Ewart, tearing away in the lead, but Skyjacker has set his sights for attack. He's gunning for him. Pat now up into third with Koi Cup going slightly sideways in the first corner, but Koi Cup maintains the third side by side with the Patster, and Pat now in third, but the inside's back to Koi Cup, and now Koi Cup is back up into third. Unbelievable racing between Koi and Pat there for third and fourth, and it's Koi Cup that gets it in the end, but Pat is having a serious look. Koi on those racing hards, really racing above where that car should be as Pat goes for the inside line, and the super sticky tyres of those softs helping Pat out there, but Koi is going to try and grab a toe as a Skyjacker does rock up to the back of Ensign Ewart, and Ensign Ewart really does need to get a nip on in his Toyota. What Skyjacker looms large in his mirrors. You've got Pat and Koi vying for that podium position. Baz is up into fifth ahead of Noxie sixth. Dan Wolf down into seventh place, and it's Ensign Ewart at the moment that leads this race. He has taken a win from this championship. Can he do it again? Skyjack saying 2 for 1, baby. Yeah, he got 2 cars in one corner. Very sweet move. And now he's really tracking on Ensign Ewart and getting ready to make the move. Pat is up into third ahead of Koi, and it's the tyres win out in the end for Pat as he tears away from Koi, and Koi could be in trouble from behind with the Bazza starting to set some very competitive lap times and heading in Koi Cup's direction. Koi Cup at 42.5, and Koi Cup closing in on Pat there. Pat heavy on the brakes in the corners. He's scared of the walls, and Koi Cup trying to take advantage of the fear with the Baz chasing down Koi. Noxie is in 6th place, fighting with Dan Wolf. Meanwhile, Ensign Hewitt still leading from Skyjacker. Skyjacker, though, dancing around behind that Toyota, looking for a way past. And is this the one? He's gone for a better line in the hairpin for a better drive out, up the straight, get a tow. And Ensign Hewitt could really seriously be in trouble right now. But at the moment, Skyjacker doesn't seem like there's much he can do. Yeah, I will try this chase cam. But Skyjacker now getting a sweet tow off of Ensign Hewitt, going for the move up the inside, late on those brakes, into the right-hander, keeping her under control. And oh, he's found the wall. Ensign Hewitt found the rear, and they've all survived neatly and nicely. But Ensign Hewitt wants that spot back as he bites those sausages very hard. And Skyjacker, oh, where's Ensign Hewitt going? Up the inside, and bish, bash and bosh, back in the lead of the race. And we've got 5 minutes on the clock. 10 more minutes of this frantic racing to go here at Tokyo Expressway. Pat then in 3rd, ahead of the Baz, who has caught up Koi Carp, who's on those hard tyres. And the Baz gets past it. Well, I say easily, but Koi's coming through. Baz has got some tyre smoke. But, oh, Koi's back end wanting to come round and meet him. How do you do? I am your exhaust pipe. Dan Wolf then in a battle with the Noxie. Noxie on the medium, but they're both on the mediums. And I tell you what, I don't recognise Dan Wolf. Is this the same guy that late breaks into corners and then ends up 10 seconds behind everyone? Not today. Dan Wolf on it. Meanwhile, Ensign Hewitt leading from Skyjacker. Skyjacker, he's had a couple of laps to suss out Ensign's preferred lines, and he's going for the kill. This one might even kill the championship with Koi Carp down in 5th. This might be putting it out of Koi Carp's reach as he goes for the move. A win here for Skyjacker will definitely cement, and he is up, he's through with the tow. And those are racing mediums in Skyjacker's hands. More than a match for the racing softs that our man Ensign Hewitt is carrying at the moment. But Ensign Hewitt does have an advantage in this long sweeping corner with the grip of those softs. And he'll close back up to Skyjacker with the tow, coming towards the first corner. He's not quite there yet. Skyjacker at the moment defeating all odds, 2nd with racing hard tyres. Now he's leading on the racing mediums. He's yet to use the softs, which is usually a guaranteed win. I mean, it's usually the best pathway to a win. And at the moment, Skyjacker holding on to that fastest lap, and he is absolutely destroying Koi Carp's championship. At the moment, though, he's driving defensively. Ensign Hewitt out wide, getting a lovely turn into that tight corner, and he is going to be all over Skyjacker. And Skyjacker maybe driving a little defensive too early, and maybe he wants to put... He's there, though. He's still ahead, so you can't say it was too defensive too early, because he's still ahead. He hasn't lost anything. But, yeah, I mean, Ensign Hewitt's closed right up, and he's getting the tow. And Skyjacker knows there's not much defence against a set of racing softs. Meanwhile, Pat in 3rd, he's all on his own, and this one could be a slam dunk on the podiums. Bazza is ahead of Koi. Koi managing to stay ahead of Noxie and Dan Wolf, who are still fighting each other ferociously out there. And this is Dan Wolf going for a move on Noxie, but Noxie's just there. And Dan Wolf can't get that move done just yet as he chases down the Noxter. Skyjacker's back in the lead. My gosh. He was in the lead, wasn't he? Yeah, he was in the lead, sorry. That's how quick my memory is. I go through the field and forget who was in the lead. So Skyjacker is leading this race ahead of Ensign Hewitt. And these two are having a battle royale out there. But Skyjacker, ooh, they've lost the fastest lap. Ah, you cheeky so-and-so. So Pat sneaking in there with the fastest lap. How far behind is he from those two? He's too far to make an impression. The Baz, he's chasing Pat down, but he hasn't got the pace of Pat at the moment. Koikap looking, I don't know if he's looking safe. It's 9 minutes in, we've got 6 more minutes to go. 41.2 from Koikap last time around. Noxie a 41.8. So yes, at the moment Koikap pretty safe from Noxie from behind. Skyjacker doing the absolute unbelievable out there with a set of racing mediums, and he has got the march on Ensign Ewart, although maybe Ensign Ewart saving it up till the last lap. He's got purples, has Ensign, as he chases down Skyjacker. In the hot seat with Ensign Ewart as he goes through the curbs, chasing down Skyjacker. He's close here. Skyjacker giving him no room to get through as he can. He's got the race in line. He picks where he puts his car. It's down to Ensign Ewart to find a way by. And at the moment, Ensign Ewart getting a sweet toe. He's going for the outside into some real late braking shenanigans. He's going to hope Skyjacker slides it out of control, but Skyjacker keeps control of his Toyota, and Ensign Ewart running out of time. 4.5 more minutes of racing here for race 2, and Ensign Ewart is running out of ideas and time. And Skyjacker, one of the most difficult guys to get by in the race. Heavy braking for the hairpin, and Ensign Ewart trying to sling one up the inside, but he just can't quite do it. And he's stuck behind a Skyjacker who's got a big thank you. Very polite, isn't it? On his bumper. So, Ensign Ewart looking for a way. I think it's thank you. Yeah, it looks like thank you. There's Ensign Ewart looking for a way by the monster Toyota. And, well, can we call him champion yet? Koikap down in 4th place. I don't think that'll put him way beyond the 16 points that he is behind. So I think this is cementing the championship for Skyjacker. He says a message just for you. What, on Discord? Oh, sorry, I'm missing bits. Is it in BGT chat? It's not come through yet, if it is for me. And Ensign Ewart, right. Oh, it's a message. Oh, thank you. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Skyjacker. Sorry, I thought you'd sent me a Discord message. I'm looking on Discord for a message. Oh, and the bumper message is for me. Oh, bless you. It's not. It's to rub it in the noses of whoever you've just overtaken. And here comes Ensign Ewart. Has he got it this time? They're side by side coming out of the corner. Skyjacker still, though, ahead. And Ensign Ewart will be getting quite frustrated with that. The Baz has made a huge mistake there. And Coy up and into 4th place. And the Baz are now under threat from Noxie, and Coy up into 4th. Oh, it was added just for this round. I didn't realise. No, the thank you is really for everyone. Ah, how did you know you'd end up seeing it? Koikap then up into 4th place ahead of the Baz, and Noxie 6th. Dan Wolf in 7th. Oh, Dan Wolf a little bit away from the rest of the gang. And Skyjacker still leads from Ensign Ewart. And Ensign Ewart all up in his business. But we've got, wow, this is probably their final lap as they cross the line. So this is Ensign Ewart. It's do or die time. As Pat has secured that 3rd place for sure. With Koikap now gently ahead of Bazza. Bazza's going to have a struggle to do anything about Coy from back there. So the battle is here, and look at that train of Toyotas as Ensign Ewart looking to get the move done, and these guys must be pumped with adrenaline right now. They must be. And that camera angle, you've got to look at one or the other. And Ensign Ewart, he's tried it a couple of times in this corner. He can get alongside Skyjacker, but just not enough to get the lead. Is it done this time in the final lap? And no, Skyjacker again still gets the better drive, and Skyjacker's got that inside line. And Ensign Ewart is throwing everything he's got at Skyjacker as they drive side by side around here like family. And Skyjacker then, Ensign Ewart having a big squirrel there. I think he had a tap with the wall, and that is game over. Skyjacker bringing it home to take the win and possibly the championship. I don't think there's anything Coy can do in the final round unless Skyjacker's car just exploded on the grid, and even then his drop scores would come in. So, yes. And Ensign Ewart, one last try against Skyjacker, side by side, coming towards the line. Ensign Ewart, as he nudged it, he nudged it! My word, where did that come from? Pat brings it on home in third spot. Unbelievable. There, take a boo, my son. Koi Carp grabbing fourth, and I don't think it's enough. I don't want to write him off. And Bazza gets fifth, with Noxie coming home in sixth place. Wow. Ensign Ewart, where did that come from? Unbelievable stuff. Nothing Skyjacker could have done about that. Seriously. So Ensign Ewart takes the win. Is it so? Koi Carp's lost another 2 points. It's back up to 16 points, I think. Did Koi Carp not get the fastest lap? Who got the fastest lap? Oh, Ensign Ewart got the fastest lap. So I think it's up to 16 points. I think it's done. I think there's no way. 0.077 gap, says Ensign Ewart. And Skyjack saying that was a bloody close one, bud. Thanks for a fantastic battle all race. Ensign Ewart saying was a great one. And Skyjack saying that this race was awesome. Great stuff. So, Dan Wolf, we'll see him bring it on home. And then we'll get on with race 3. Jesus, there's still more. There is still more. I'll get rid of that for you. As Dan Wolf brings it on home. And there she goes. On to race 3. No, that one. On to race 3 then. With our brand, and it's his second championship in the VRC, and he's not officially crowned yet, but I think mathematically he is definitely the champion, and a good job done as well from Koi Carp to chase him all the way to the last round. It's been an absolute tub thumper. And this one is now for a bit of fun. Championship's out of the way, and we can just let it all hang out. The pressure of championships risen from their heads. They can just go out there and have themselves a real blast. God almighty, it's a 15-minute race, for heaven's sakes. What's wrong with them? How long's a load-up to take? Dan Wolf on pole, Noxie in second, Bazza, Koi Carp, Pat, Skyjacker, and Ensign Ewart at the back. We'll have a quick look at their tyres. We'll get rid of those blooming things. So, softs for Dan, softs for Noxie, softs for Baz, mediums for Koi, hards for Pat, softs for Skyjacker, mediums for Ensign, and back. Look at how slow is the starts. So we're watching Dan Wolf. He's on the softs this time, and is he going to get a good start against Noxie? Noxie and Dan going toe-to-toe like they were in the last race, and it's Dan Wolf that pulls away in the lead of this race with Noxie in second, and it's Baz and Koi battling it out for the third spot as Skyjacker tucks in just behind Coy. Or Baz, because Coy gets ahead of the Barry. And Skyjacker then in fifth with Pat in sixth. And then Ensign Hewitt trying to get a move on Pat on them hard tyres, I believe. Whilst Dan Wolf leads the way and Noxie having a look. No. Dan Wolf, Noxie again. Dan Wolf going really out wide. Noxie trying to slip one up the inside of Dan. And Dan looking, oh, and Bazza getting heavy-handed in the middle of that hairpin. Gets himself ahead of Skyjacker as Skyjacker was trying to get a move pulled on Dan Wolf, but Skyjacker doesn't mind. He says, yeah, Baz, I'll just take you down the straight with the toe. Meanwhile, Noxie leads the race ahead of Dan Wolf, whilst Bazza tries to keep Skyjacker at bay. Then we have Koikap in fifth. Ensign Hewitt, he's on the medium tyres, but he's struggling with Pat, who's on the hards at the moment. And they're both going around and they're skinning up to each other. And Pat doing a good job. Coy looks like he's lost a position or two. Noxie's had a little tap with the wall. Dan Wolf under threat from Skyjacker, who's got himself ahead of the Bazza. And Skyjacker trying to get that second place, but Dan Wolf got it covered. Has it covered. And Noxie leads the way. Skyjacker now up into second place, going to brake late into the first corner. Dan Wolf on those softs, but he's sliding a little bit, and that'll give Bazza an opportunity to get a move done on the American, whilst Koikap watches on behind. And we're sat on board with Coy. He's on his medium tyres. Oh, Dan having a little knock with the barrier. And that lets Koikap close right up. Noxie, meanwhile, still leads from Skyjacker. Koikap tries to get a move up the inside. It looks like Noxie ahead has had a little brush with the barrier, and that gives Skyjacker the opportunity to go through. And Skyjacker, I was going to say, is he going to go for the treble? But Koikap won the first one, and Ensign Hewitt won the second one. So Skyjacker yet to win, even though he's won the championship. Great stuff. And Koikap up into third place, and he's got the Baz and Dan Wolf sitting behind him, and Coy driving the nuts off of that car at the moment, with Dan Wolf in fourth, Bazza in fifth. Pat giving Ensign Hewitt a lot of aggro with his racing hard tyres. And Ensign Hewitt on the mediums, unable to deal with Pat, who is on the hards. Meanwhile, Skyjacker leads from Noxie. And Noxie, he just has to get his head down and crack on. He can take him. You can take him, Noxie. I have belief. 39.3 though from Skyjacker that round. He's getting all deep in the 39s. Is Skyjacker with Noxie pulling a 40.3, Koikap a 40.9 on the racing medium tyres, only half a second off of Noxie's time. And Bazza a 42.0. He's on the racing softs. He should be doing better, and I think he knows it. Dan Wolf also on those softs. Can't believe they've got Koikap. Although Koikap's second in the championship, there is a reason for it. And that reason is he's ahead of two soft runners on a set of mediums. Ensign Hewitt has finally shaken off the shackles of Pat, and he is making his way towards those guys ahead of him, but he's got a long way to go as Pat on those racing hards, the only driver on the hards. He's doing an amazing job staying with Ensign Hewitt. Sorry, Big Dan. Skyjacker trailing away. Noxie cannot live with that pace. And now Noxie starting to be concerned about Koikap's pace coming in behind him. Although Koikap hands full with the Baz on board with the Barry twins in fourth place. And we're nearly 5 minutes into this final race of the final round. Whoa, Bazza playing hit and miss with the barrier. This time he missed. And losing a bit of ground to Koikap with that sloppy chicane action. And Noxie is really going to be under threat from Koi Carp on those medium tyres, showing they're more than enough in his hands to go up against the soft runners. Koi Carp looking very impressive in this final race. And Ensign Ewart, oh, Dan Wolf's had a big nosedive, huge nosedive down. He was there behind the Baz, wasn't he? He was close to Baz. Hang on, I don't know how far away it happens. So he's with the Baz there in 5th place. Our man Dan having a respectable round in this round against these other guys. We're heading down towards the right-hander into the chicane. Ooh. And whoa, the back end coming around to meet the front end, and that has been a big issue this evening with that chicane, that final chicane. And Dan Wolf then meeting his back end, basically, with Skyjacker leads from Noxie. Noxie now just dipping it into the 39s, seeing how it feels. And Koi Carp also into the 39s. He's faster on the racing mediums than he was. I think he did a 39.6 on his softs. I think that was his fastest lap. And he's done a 39.7 with heavy fuel load on the racing medium tyre. So Koi Carp absolutely flying. The Baz also in the 39s, looking for a way past Koi Carp up the inside. And there he done, job done. And can he maintain it as Koi Carp gets a better drive out, and the Baz is up into a podium position. And Koi Carp on the medium tyres just doesn't have enough to battle back with the Baz, but he might be able to get him in the tow, as we've got quite a straightish bit of road ahead. And Koi Carp then getting right into the Barry Twins' slipstream. He's going to try and get a move done into this corner. The right-hander, heavy on the brakes, but the Baz seems to have got it covered. And Barry Twins, lovely stuff as he makes his way around into the chicane. He's caught a few people out so far, and he does ask a lot of the chicane, but Barry survives. But Koi Carp's through it quicker, and Koi Carp, he's going up the inside in the final corner, and Koi Carp gets his 3rd place back from Bazza as the Barry got very sloppy in the chicane. I said he's got his 3rd place back barely, as Barry Twins back up into 3rd as they go side by side down the straight. And it's Koi Carp breaking later into the corner, but now Barry Twins will have the inside Willie though, because Koi Carp stays ahead, and Barry Twins now down into 4th place with the superior tyre. And he's just getting beaten by the better man at the moment. Ensign Ewart on his way. He's saying, wait for me, guys. That looks fun. Pat in 6th with Dan Wolf playing catch-up. Oh, he's got soft tyres, though, so he could catch up, Pat, before the end of this race. And Skyjacker in the chat saying 39.5 in race 1 for Koi. Sorry. 39.4 in race 2 for Ensign. From memory. There you go. Skyjacker. Super memory. And at the moment, Skyjack away from Noxie, and then we've got the Baz back ahead of Koi. I thought Koi had done it, but the Baz, unknown to unseen, has got himself back up into 3rd place as Koi Carp doing a 140.4 last time around. Ensign Ewart 39.8. So Ensign Ewart pushing on to try and catch up that Red Bull Toyota. Pat on the hard tyre, only one on the hards, and he'll be happy that he's just up a position on Dan Wolf, who is on a set of softs, and he's had 2 shaky laps in a row, but he could, he's not too far behind Pat, he could try and catch him up. There is still a good 6.5 minutes to go of this race, so plenty of time. Skyjacker though leading the way, 38.4 from Skyjacker. Unbelievable pace from the monster Toyota out there. Noxie in 2nd place, bringing it in for a podium. The Bazza though chasing him down, Noxie did a 40.0 last time around. Bazza doing a 40.4. So he's got to find a bit more pace before he can bring it to Noxie's door. Koikart staying with the Baz on the softs, as is Noxie, I believe. So Koikart holding his own against the soft runners. Pat on the hard is now ahead of Ensign. What happened to Ensign? He was pushing hard. He's just done a 45.8, and he's crunched that Toyota somewhere along the line. And Dan Wolf did a 41.4, his fastest this race so far. Skyjacker leads from Noxie. Bazza in third, with Coy chasing him down. Now that Ensign Newart's fallen off the road, then Koikart doesn't have to fear what's happening behind him. And now Pat does, as Ensign Newart tries to close up. Hey, this is who he was racing at the beginning of the race, so, you know, he's come back to have a bit of fun with Pat. As Ensign Newart sitting in sixth, as we come to the chicane. Oh, Ensign Newart having all sorts of fun in the chicane, in the Toyota. Skyjacker leads from Noxie, with Barry Twins in third spot. And Koikart sitting comfortably in fourth, chasing them down. Then we have this battle. We're sat on board with Ensign Newart, chasing down Pat. Looking for some extra points as he has a little clash with the barrier. And he's closing in on Pat. We'll have a quick look around. Hopefully by the time we're back, these two will be having themselves a little race. Or possibly sooner, because he's really caught up with him now. And Ensign Newart virtually driving past Pat. And Pat then up the inside, maintaining position from Ensign Newart, who's got to do it all again as he chases down Pat. We've got Skyjacker leading the race from Noxie, who looks quite comfortable ahead of Barry Twins. And Koikart still keeping those guys in sight in fourth, with Pat in fifth and Ensign Newart in sixth, chasing him down. And it's Pat really does gain a lot of ground on Ensign Newart. Ensign Newart just slinging it through that chicane without any kind of slowness from Barry Twins. Noxie can't even see Skyjacker now. Skyjacker has absolutely boosted it, adding a second championship to his name. Another little badge next to his name, and a little picture of that beautiful car in the Hall of Champions. So Skyjacker, great job done on a Sunday evening. And he's finishing ahead of Noxie, who's ahead of the Baz, who's maintaining ahead of Coy. No one's edging any closer to anyone else. Pat still maintains that fifth place ahead of Ensign Newart. And Dan Wolf did 42.6 last time around. He's got to be caning those 39s if he wants to catch these guys up. And Ensign Newart trying to find a way. It's the battle of the controllers down here, the gamepad boys, fighting it out for fifth and sixth place. Meanwhile, Skyjacker, 39s. I was going to say 39s all across the board, but he did a couple of 38s just to show off. So Skyjacker making his way around. He's just, he started his final lap, I'd say. It's going to be close, but I think he's on his final lap. With Noxie in second, and every time I go, I think Bazza looks a little closer, but that might be just... no, he looks closer. So Noxie a 40.4 last time around, a 40.1 from the Baz. So he has pulled a little bit closer, but not majorly. And this one, pretty sure is going to be the final lap for all of these guys out there. Pat still maintaining that position ahead of Ensign Newart. Ensign Newart just cannot do anything about the Star Wars trilogy Toyota today. As Skyjacker then comes into the last section of racetrack, champion of the SFR Cup, bringing it through the chicane. around the final corner. And there we have, in his monster Toyota, for the final time in this series, Skyjacker takes the win and the championship. Well done, my friend. Noxie then grabs himself as second, as Baza Tekaboo, my son, gets third. Koikap gets fourth. Pat stays ahead of Ensign Newitt for fifth place. And the highs and lows for Ensign as he finishes in sixth. And Dan Wolf bringing it around the final corner to round out this championship. He's got a little way to go. Oh, God. So that piece of fence there represents Skyjacker, and what a great job he's done this season. Noxie in second. Barry Twins came home in the final podium position. What an absolute corking job done by all of these racers. Koikap fourth and finishes second in the championship ahead of Ensign Newitt. And Pat in, well, he's hiding behind a barrier, but Pat's there somewhere. Great stuff. With Ensign Newitt in sixth, blurry. Oh, you can see a bit of Pat there. And Dan Wolf coming home in seventh. In the chat, Ensign Newitt saying, congrats, Skyjacker. Great championship, great season. Skyjacker saying, thank you, Coy, for all the behind-the-scenes work and the season's long battle. Thanks for all the great comms thingy. I think I had a great battles with pretty much the entire grid. Thanks, guys. Yes, super work by everyone involved, and Koikap being host admin of this one, and it was his brainchild. So huge thank you to Koikap for a super championship. I don't know what's going on because there are races, but I think Friday I'm busy, so I can't do comms on Friday night. So we're missing out on the Honda Civics, which is a shame. Tomorrow something's happening as well. Oh yes, Subaru's Isle of Man TTs. I'm not so sure about them myself because there's a mud track, so I might wait for the replays. Because knowing GT7 like I know it, it's probably going to be bouncing like hell, especially on the mud. I haven't seen what it looks like on the mud. Don't know if I'm brave enough to go with a live stream with mud and GT7. All these things worry me. It's a little bit of a test for future championships, so I may avoid that just to let those guys do the test in peace without the worry of a live stream hanging over. And if it works out, we'll do the replay at some time. No problem. So I don't know when we're off again. I think on Tuesday is a definite league race. We'll never miss a league race. These test races, they might not get streamed and other things, but league races are priority. And I believe on Tuesday, the Wes is coming back. Come race tomorrow. On GT7, I'd rather put a rusty nail down my Jap's eye, to tell you the truth. The game is so bad. I know you're all cracking on with it, and it's great, but it's just awful. I don't see the point. GT Sport works. Come on. No, I've got a date with a rusty nail. So I'll think about it. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm thinking about my rusty nail. Right then. It's not that bad. It's just me being silly. It's a great game. I just I've seen a lot of things about a lot of things on GT7. No one talks about the mud. It's like Bruno. We don't talk about the mud on GT7. We don't talk about the mud. I tried to take a car onto the mud. It felt like I was driving on ice. It was so unrealistic. We don't talk about mud on GT7. It might be good. It's just I've not heard anything about how the mud is. So I don't know. Ensign saying please, and Skyjacker saying so would I, but got to give it a go. Yeah, no, fair play to you all. I am on board for it. Hang on. Can't keep looking at a bloody fence. I'll look at a blurry koi carp. No, I know it wasn't, but I'm not. I'm not getting into it. I was joking. I don't know. I didn't know if I fancied it is all because I didn't know if I could be. I've been enjoying this week without loads of comms. We've been doing four streams for a few weeks now, and I did like nearly, except for Sunday, I nearly did a stream every night. And I must say, I have been enjoying the relaxedness this week of not having the. I've got to rush home and get onto the computer and stream. Oh, anywho, good night. Sorry, Sky, was I boring you? Boring you? It is late. It's bedtime. Anyway, I was your broadcaster and your comment. I think I'm in a pit stop. He's there chatting, and I'm just like, there, here we go. So I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Adam Zappel. Thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Thank you for Koi Carp, Skyjacker, and everyone behind the scenes of the SFR Cup. It was a cracker. It was a corker. It was an absolute corker. So that is it for us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Peace and love. Peace and love. I have just one question. Would you like some toast?